Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And thank you again for joining me on another brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And joining me today, because this is another special episode. You guys already seen that I've had two people on before, and they were a cosplay couple. Now, this is the second time that I've interviewed two cosplayers at the same time. And joining me today is Cupcait Cosplay and Dandelionthighs. How are y'all doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Great.
I am happy, and I'm ready to go plus ultra.
Nice.
Awesome. Let's do this.
I'm
All
excited.
right. So, hey, thank you again for joining me on a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And before we get into today's interview, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So let's go ahead and roll right into it. First thing I want to say is I love the cosplays. I love Demon Slayer. It's I don't know if you guys can see my Rengoku up there. I used to have him up here on the table with me, but he's too small. That's what she said. So so I have Deku up here on the table with me now because Deku is best boy, and he's my favorite character on My Hero Academia. But like I said, Demon Slayer is awesome. Rengoku is awesome.
Yes.
Before we jump into the interview, have you guys seen the Demon Slayer movie?
Yes, I have. I went the weekend it premiered and I cried.
Oh, same. What about you, Dandelion?
I actually have not yet, but I do plan on it really soon since it came out on Crunchyroll, I believe.
Yeah, Crunchyroll or Funimation, I believe. It's on,
Yeah, it was one of them.
It's one of those. But yeah, when you watch it, you're gonna cry. I don't want to spoil anything because you haven't watched it yet. But like I say to everybody, Rengoku, he saved 200 people on that train, and that is a spoiler, but it's not gonna take away from the movie. And I love Rengoku. When I first saw him on the Demon Slayer anime, I was just like, yo, this guy reminds me of All Might, and I can't wait to see him in action. And yeah, but like I said, I love the cosplay choices. Thank you for wearing those cosplays. That's one of the things that I love about Who's That Cosplayer is all of my guests, when they come up here, they wear cosplays. They wear their favorites, and I appreciate that. So starting with you, Dandelionthighs, something that I ask all of our guests is, what is their origin story? And, you know, every hero or villain, they have one. So tell everybody, who is Dandelionthighs?
I actually started out as just like, I was just going to do this for fun. I'm not going to get sucked into this hobby and all this stuff. But, you know, a few hours later, I was like, TikTok, yes. The thing that sucked me in. And I just kept going, and I just can't seem to stop cosplaying. It's really fun. I find it entertaining. It keeps me close to sane. Not completely sane, but we're getting there. It just helps me relax a lot, and keeps me happy.
Hey, I love to hear that. And that's one of the joys of cosplaying, is because when you do it, you're cosplaying as these characters, and it's always an awesome time when you go to these cons and people, they see you in these cosplays and you make them happy just by being one of their favorite characters. And by you doing that, you make yourself happy because it's just like, yo, this person thinks that I did an amazing job wearing this costume. So that's a pinkies up for me. Same question for you, Kate. What is your origin story?
My origin story. Nothing special, I guess, but so I started cosplaying like in 2018, but like there's no pictures from that time. I didn't really start like posting or like, you know, putting like my cosplays like out there until 2020, I think, or like end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I think is when I started that. But yeah, it's honestly, I've always been like super into movies, pop culture in general, movies, TV, books, anime, things like that. And then I've always like admired cosplay like before that. Like I watched like a lot of cosplayers on YouTube and things like that. And so watching it, I was like, oh, that would be really cool to do someday. And it wasn't, I guess, until that year where I was like, you know, I'm going to try it. And, you know, you start doing the research of like how to get wigs and things like that, and where to buy costumes. Because I I don't make my costumes, but I'm not that skilled. But
And there's no
it's
shame
just-
in that.
I know there is no shame because it literally does not matter. But because it's really just something for everybody, and like Dandelion said, Rin, it honestly it makes you happy. It allows you to just like express yourself. And then I'm also like, my major is theater, so
Oh, nice.
yeah, so like the acting thing is just like kind of comes into it when like, you're posing for photos or whatever, and like us doing like the idol stuff from like Love Live and stuff, we get to dance and perform occasionally, so it like encompasses everything that I already like.
Nice. Now to keep it on the origin stories, and you can continue talking, Kate. How was it going to your first con?
Oh, that was I think my first con was the first con I cosplayed at was DerpyCon 2018. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, that was like a really fun experience because I was with a group of friends. So I think having friends to go into it with, it would made it feel a lot better. And it was also a smaller con. So that took the pressure off, because like other cons that are like bigger in your area, like it's a little bit overwhelming because there's just so many people. But like I think starting off small really helped me like get into it and just be like, okay, I feel calm, and I'm really happy to be here.
No, I agree with you, because it's like some of these cons that you go to, like you said, they can be massive and there are so many people there. And I feel like for it being your first experience and wearing your first cosplay and everything, you want to start off small. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you don't just want to be thrust into the fire, even though, I mean, like everybody doesn't have the opportunity to go to some of the smaller cons. It's like it is helpful, and you kind of get your bearings of how cons operate, the different panels that may be there, the rooms, the gaming rooms, the sales floor rooms, it's just so much to do. And same question for you, Dandelion. Like, how was it when you went to your first con?
So my first con, I actually shouldn't have done this, but I actually went by myself. Don't go to a con by yourself. But I met a lot of amazing people while I was there, which was, I appreciate it because that's my first con. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm going to get lost in Philly. This isn't smart. But I found my way around, which is thankfully. But I also met like a lot of amazing people who were like, hey, let's hang out. Oh, I love your cosplay and all this stuff. And well, my first cosplay was actually the cyber set from Love Live. And I did as Ellie Isa. And everyone came up to me and they're like, wow, your cosplay lights up. That's so cool. Did you make it? But of course I bought it because I also don't have the skill yet. But
I love how you just said yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn. I will get there eventually.
You will.
But it's just the compliments and the getting asked for pictures and all this stuff. I was like, wow, it's just what it feels like to have people, admire you and all this stuff. And I gained a lot of friends throughout it, which it's something that I enjoy, especially since I like making friends. They fill a gap in my heart. I don't know. Aww. But appreciate you, Kate.
You too.
But it's just like cons hold a special place in my heart. And when COVID hit, I was like, wow, I miss this. I miss the thrill of meeting people. I miss the thrill of complimenting people, the pictures and all this stuff. So I'm excited that stuff is starting back up again. Because it's just, life isn't the same without cons now anymore.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it's the same thing like with me being a professional wrestler. It's like before the pandemic, I was wrestling like almost every weekend, and you're wrestling in front of fans, and whether they're cheering or booing for you, it's just like you're just so used to that. And then because of the pandemic, just like with the con scene, you miss it. You know what I'm saying? And thankfully that everything is kind of slowly returning to normal. the wrestling scene is starting to open back up again, and then the con scene is starting to open up, and you don't have to see stuff virtually. Like there will be fans at the wrestling shows, and there will be people at the cons. Now, something that I wanted to piggyback off of something that you had said, Dandelion, was you mentioned that you went to the con by yourself. And then you had mentioned that, you know, you should never go to a con by yourself. But it's like, I love how you say you went by yourself and then you met all of these amazing people there. And honestly, I feel like if you don't really have any friends, because sometimes, like some people, they might not have friends that are into going to cons or maybe not even into the nerd scene. And sometimes going by yourself, you have the opportunity to meet so many amazing people, and then you build those relationships with, you know, your new friends that you have at the cons. And now you have a tag team, and you create a stable, and like that's what you guys have going on. Because it's like I've seen y'all's pictures online, and then also too with Hesitant Lillian. And it's just like, you know, you guys are like, y'all are a stable, y'all are a tag team. And it's awesome that you go to these cons and you meet people that you don't know. And then you form these bonds where it's just like, y'all become friends, y'all become family. Like, do you guys have any cool stories of like, you know, just going to the cons as a family and just killing it at the cons? Starting with you, Kate.
Yeah, I mean, so I usually go to cons I usually travel with my dad and my sister, and then a lot of friends that we know, like, personally are also into cosplay, so we usually meet up with them there. But actually, like, both, like, Lily and Rin, I actually didn't meet them at a con yet.
Oh, wow.
We actually haven't gone to a con together yet because we actually, like, most of our friendship was spent during COVID. And it's like, which is crazy. So it's like, and we've met up like since, like, you know, once we like all vaccinated, like we did a little trip together, where they both came to visit me, and we did a little trip and we filmed something for Honey Pop Dreamers, our idol group. So, but we actually haven't like had that family con experience yet, at least with like the three of us. So hopefully like soon that will get to happen. But yeah, I usually do go to cons like with my family because my dad's super nerdy. Awesome. So is my sister. Even my dad like gets into cosplay because he loves Star Wars and everything. Like that's his thing. So it's really cool that we like, even like me and my sister like kind of brought him into it.
Nice. Now, because you guys have never, you know, done the whole family thing at a con, Dandelion, like, what do you expect to happen when the three of you go to the con together? And what cosplays do you guys have besides the Demon Slayer ones that you're gonna show on the con floor?
So, we actually have Love Live, and I actually dragged Kate and Lily into Genshin Impact.
Yeah,
that's what I do the best. I hyperfixated on it. I was like, hey guys, look at this. And I shoved all the pictures of every character towards them. So usually when we meet up, like even when we just did our little meetup, we're absolute chaos. The three of us is just all over the place.
That's awesome.
So, you know, I actually met Lily, and I have gone to a con with Lily before. So, the family relationship that we have is just, it's really fun. I highly cherish it. Chaos all over the place, us chasing each other. It's one of those moments. So adding Kate in is like, wow, this is going to be something I will also cherish forever and appreciate.
I love this. It's like I'm feeling this right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I love all of this. You know, sometimes I throw out recommendations for cosplayers and whatnot like that, and I think it would be awesome if you guys did the Three Musketeers: Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. Like, now, if you guys were to do the Three Musketeers, which ones would you call dibs on?
I would call dibs on Bakugo just because I feel his rage a lot.
That's very that makes the most sense. I don't know. I feel like I haven't like watched My Hero Academia. I haven't like gotten into
this
it,
interview's over.
No, I'm sorry. It's okay. Yeah, sorry. But I mean, I know like a little bit. I I don't know, Rin. Who would you assign me?
I would assign you Deku, to be
I had a
completely
feeling.
honest, because you're calm, you mother.
Yeah.
I admit you mother a lot, but like
Yeah.
he fits you best, and I feel like Lily fits Todoroki the best. So
Yeah.
That's funny. And then also too, Dandelion, because it's like you're a Nosuke, and a Nosuke and Bakugo are pretty much the same person. So I love that.
I like to cosplay the angry men.
Yes.
It's my signature.
So I can see Vegeta right up your alley if you wanted to do him, because I mean, he's always angry. Now, something I wanted to piggyback off of, this was something that you had said earlier, Kate, was that you were in the theater. And, you know, we interview a lot of voice actors and actresses on the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast. And one of the things that they always tell us is that they were in theater, and theater helped them get into doing voiceover work. So is becoming a voice actress, is that something that you've ever thought of doing?
Actually, yeah. Especially like a lot recently. Because especially because I've been like watching like a lot of the live streams of like the Genshin Impact voice actors, and just like hearing how they talk about Zach Aguilar, he's the English voice actor for Tanjiro and for Ether in Genshin Impact. So I watch a lot of his streams where he brings on his other castmates from Genshin Impact, like the other English voice actors, whenever like there's their banner and they like try to pull for their character, and he like interviews them about like their experience and stuff. And so like, you know, I'm kind of like taking notes and everything, just like listening. I'm like, wow, this would be really cool to do someday. Especially because like most of the stuff I've done is like on stage and everything. I've done both like musicals, straight plays, but like voiceover is definitely something I would love to do, or like try, or give like a chance at. I think it's very cool, and it like combines like both things I love, so I feel like it's a good fit.
Who's that cosplayer?
Kaiju Otaku.
Yeah, I mean, and you just never know. I mean, like a lot of them tell us that, you know, you want to go to a voice acting school, you want to get with a coach and whatnot, so that way that they can lead you in the right direction. But like I said, by you having a background in theater, that will really help you. And who knows, like we might hear you in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because that's one of my favorite animes. But like I said, like I highly recommend it. And if it's something that you feel very passionate about, then you should always go out and do it. I mean, like for me, it's 3 things I've always wanted to do in life: become a professional wrestler, do stand-up comedy, and do voice acting. I've done 2 of those things, and voice acting is the last thing on my list of things that I want to do. So I'm just happy that we've had the opportunity to interview so many voice actors and actresses, and it's kind of like sitting in a class, because we're hearing their stories and things that they've gone through, and it's just like I'm just sitting there writing notes,
taking notes, like okay, gotta remember this. I'm like, you recommend this like studio? Okay, cool. I'll look that up later.
and like honestly, like that's really all there is to it. Now, to kind of segue into something that I love to ask all of the cosplayers that we have up here is, you know, we see online who you are, or even at cons, we see the characters that you portray, but we always love to find out who the people are behind the makeup and under the wig. So starting with you, Dandelion, like what are some of your hobbies that you like to do when you're not cosplaying?
When I'm not cosplaying, I actually really like to play rhythm games. I'm a huge Idol fan, so I'm constantly tapping away on my phone, just hitting notes and full comboing songs. And of course, my friends get to hear me scream about how when I full combo something. I also sleep a lot because I work full time, so I'm just going home wearing myself out. But when I'm not doing that, I'm usually just tapping away on my phone, or drawing. I do like to draw a lot. I don't do it much anymore like I used to, but I like to draw like little chibis, my favorite characters, when I get the chance.
Nice.
So those are some of my main hobbies. I don't really have an amazing life outside of this, but it's kind of basic.
Hey, well, what I'll say is you do art, you play live, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, those are cool things. And I just always feel like when it's something that you're passionate about, I'll never say that it's boring or it's basic. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the stuff that you do is cool. And I mean, like, how many people know how to draw? You know what I'm saying? So I always think that that's cool. Who are some of the characters that you draw when you do the chibi versions of them?
Inosuke. I also do like Issei Todoroki from Aichu. A lot of A3 drawings I do because that is my biggest hyperfixation at the moment. Is all I ever talk about. My poor friends. I'm so sorry, guys.
I know it's fine. I do the same thing with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to my friends, and they're just like,
not again. Here we go. It's like the second I say something, they're like, no, here we go again. I did a little bit of My Hero when I was into it. I unfortunately did fall out of the fandom over time, but I was caught up to season 3 and was like, this is good enough.
No, I totally understand. It gets
better, I heard.
It does get better, but I will say that season 5, while, like, in my opinion, season 4 was the best season, in my opinion. But some people will say season 3 was the best, but season 5, it's good, but I feel like it's not going to get good until probably like season 6, season 7. Like, that's when things really start picking up, and we have years before it gets to that. So anybody that's watching right now, read the manga. And for you too, I would recommend reading the manga, because it's like, I don't know, it's just something about the manga. Like, I just read the latest chapter today, and like my jaw dropped when I saw Bakugo, and I was just like, oh my god, it's Lord Explosion Murder. You know what I'm saying? But same question to you too, Kate. What are some of your hobbies that you like to do when you're not cosplaying?
So yeah, my hobbies. Well, like I said, theater is my major, so usually I'm doing things like that if I'm in a show. Which it's kind of, well, I just finished a show in June with my school because I just graduated community college. So
nice, and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll be trying to now earn my bachelor's degree in theater studies. So that's where I'm going next. So like I'm usually like in school, I work part-time. And then if I'm in a show, I'm like usually like rehearsing. And then when I do have time to relax, I'm usually playing like video games with like Lily or Rin. Especially like we sometimes play Genshin Impact together. Or me and Lily, we play Minecraft together. That's like our favorite thing to play together. So usually that's what I do when I have time to myself, which rarely happens these days. But since we're like starting to get back into it with like everything opening up, so it's like, I'm busy again. It's like, wow. But no, I miss it. So that's usually what I'm up to when I'm not this.
This.
Yeah.
Well, to now that we're kind of talking about segueing back into cosplay, Dandelion, what are some of your favorite cosplays that you've done?
Okay, so my favorite is definitely Yula. She's like one of my top favorites. I also really like my Koga Ugami cosplay from N Stars, Inosuke. He's a huge comfort. I just feel really good as him. And then Ellie, Ayase, and Setsuna, Yuki. Those are like my top 5. And whenever I feel down or something, I just get into them. My mood's like, wow, you're happy again. I'm like, yes, I am.
Nice. I mean, it's just like how you said earlier in the interview. It's like cosplay. It always makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? And,
it does.
And I love to hear that. Same question for you, Kate. What are some of your favorites?
Okay. So I really like Shinobu. She was the first Demon Slayer cosplay I did, and then I also cosplay Nezuko. That one's another like favorite of mine. I feel really pretty whenever I'm cosplaying Nezuko. I also love cosplaying like my 2 best girls from Love Live, Umi Sonoda and Kanon Matsura. They are both my favorite. A lot of and I really love cosplaying Kanata as well, because we just did like a Nichigasaki thing for HBDs that's coming out soon. So getting to cosplay her was like, ooh, I feel really good as her. And then a lot of people love that Diana Cavendish from Little Witch Academia. That's when I got like I get a lot. I don't cosplay her very often, which I honestly should, but that's like one everyone always tells me, like, you look really good as her, and they're like that wig is so pretty, and I'm like, thanks. It's honestly like probably the prettiest wig I own. It was such a hard time finding it too, because I was like trying to find one where it was like the highlights weren't too green, or like there wasn't too much green in it, and it was like the perfect one. So it was like, wow, maybe I should cosplay her more often.
Hey, especially if like you're always getting good things and hearing good things about this cosplay. Now, to kind of piggyback off of because you had mentioned the Honey Pop Dreamers, like how did the both of you get involved into that? Starting with you, Dandelion.
So after things happened, Lily actually wanted to create an idol group, and it's like, hey, I want a group of friends where we can all just chill, vibe, dance whenever we want. So I was like, you know what? I miss being an idol, because I have left multiple groups. It was just things weren't working out. So Lily was like, I want an idol group of friends. Here, have the application. Just fill it out. You're probably gonna be in anyway. So I just filled it out, chose my best girls. I've switched roles multiple times to, get the roles I want, but I'm really happy with the roles I have now as Ellie, Daya, and Setsuna. And I'm really excited to be co-leading this group too, along with Lily and Kate, because everyone in that group is so talented, and I love them.
Me too.
I love that. Same question for you, Kate. How did you get into it?
Prior to Honey Pop Dreamers, I was in a group with Lily and Rin, that's how I met them, and that group, which happens, some things just like, some groups disband and whatever, and so I've noticed that, Honey Pop Dreamers, and that Lily like posted about it on their story, and I was like looking at it, and I was like, you know what, I'll apply and stuff, because I loved hanging out with them. They were super cool and everything, so I was like, let me go for it. So I applied, sent in the application, and then got in as Umi. When I first applied, I was Umi, Kanan, and Emma, and then when Kanata opened, I switched from Emma to Kanata. Because and so now I'm still those roles consistently. But yeah, and then Lily asked eventually later down the line if I wanted to co-lead with them and Rin, so I was like, sure, I'll give it a try. And then so yeah, now we co-lead, and it was honestly super cool. I think like when Lily like created the group, it was just like, it was just so much fun. It's a blast. I love everyone, and yeah, it's just a great time. Excited for like future things we're gonna do. We all get like super excited over it, and yeah, it's very great.
And I appreciate that, and because when I had interviewed Lily, and also too, everybody that's watching, make sure that you go and check out that interview as well, because Hesitant Lillian, she was an amazing person, and it was a fun interview. But one of the things that I loved that they said was that with the Honey Pop Dreamers, it's like you guys are all over. And I love the fact that, you can be in different areas of the country, and it's just like y'all are all doing the thing that you love, which is dancing. And, I just think that that's an amazing thing. And, pinky's up to you guys for, making this dance group and just doing these, because I've seen one Miss Nikki Mouse. I've seen some of her stuff where
yes, I love
it's
Nikki.
like, I love how, you incorporate reality, and then with the anime, and you reenact these dance scenes, and it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I said, pinky's up to everybody that's in the Honey Pop Dreamers, and for everything that you guys do. And I just want to say, it's been awesome talking to you guys. I just have one last question for the both of you, and then we can go ahead and wrap this thing up. Starting with you, Dandlelionthighs. What is some advice that you would give to anybody who wants to get into cosplay?
I would definitely say, if you're gonna start, do whatever character you love and don't let anyone stop you. Closet cosplays are always amazing to see. Wigs, doesn't matter what the wig looks like, you're gonna look amazing as your character, and just be who you are and embody who you want to be as you cosplay.
Awesome. I love it. And same question for you, Kate.
I would agree with Rin 100%. It doesn't matter who you are, how much, what your budget is, as long as you enjoy doing it and you have a great time, um, just go for it. And it's also like a great learning process as well, especially if you want to pick up skills of like making your own cosplays or styling wigs. And like even if like your first one, like, you know, I don't think you should ever compare yourself to like other people, because I think it's a great learning process, and it's like always good to take inspiration from other people and just slowly build and like look back to how like your skills have evolved. Because I think like definitely it's really cool seeing where you were like 2 years ago and then looking at a picture of you now and being like, wow, I've really like evolved as a cosplayer, and like I really improved on like my, say, like my makeup or my wig styling or whatever it may be. Yeah, we leveled up. Yeah.
No, I love it, and I appreciate the advice that both of you gave. And to anybody who wants to get into cosplay, like I always say, it's just like this is awesome to have cosplayers who come up here and who have been doing it for a while, and they do an amazing job with the cosplays that they do. And like they've said, it's just like you can either make it yourself or you can buy it. Like there's no shame in buying cosplay. Don't ever let anybody make you feel bad because you didn't make something. If that person is trying to make you feel bad, they're just miserable. Cosplay is fun, and everybody's supposed to have a good time, because it's just like it lets you break away from the real world and come into a world where everybody just wants to have fun and just hang out. And like that's pretty much what cosplay is. So thank you everybody for watching a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer. Thank you guys for joining me on a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer. And before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find Miss Dandlelionthighs at.
You can find me on TikTok or Instagram as Dandlelionthighs, or if you want to follow my lovely Twitter, it's about me screaming over idols. It's Feral Marshmallow.
Awesome. And then Kate, where can they find you at in social media land?
So just Instagram at Cupcait Cosplay, and hope to see you there.
Awesome. Hey, thank you again for joining me up here. It was awesome talking with the both of you. And you already know where you can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast where we release new episodes every Tuesday, and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.